Many thanks for joining us on the newsroom. I am Folashade Ogrinde. The Attorney General of the Federation, AGF Abubakar Malami, says President Muhammadu Buhari was right to grant a state pardon to Joshua Dariye and Jolly Inyame, former governors of Plateau and Taraba State. Speaking at the 18th edition of the Administration Scorecard Series on Thursday, Malami said it was within the constitutional powers of the President to grant state pardon. He said Buhari only considered the eligibility of those pardoned and not the amount of money embezzled. The Defense Headquarters said that troops killed 50 terrorists and arrested 62 suspected criminal elements, just as they recovered 55 AK-47 rifles and ammunition in the northern parts of the country. At a media briefing in Abuja, the Directorate of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Damadami, said the terrorists were decimated by troops in the past 3 weeks of military operations. He said the operations were part of an ongoing campaign to contain insecurity in the country. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has extended the deadline for the collection of permanent voter cards by 1 week. In a statement released by the Commissioner for Voter Education, Festus Okoye, PVC collection now ends on the 29th of January. He said the extension was approved to provide Nigerians with more time to get their PVCs ahead of the general elections coming up in February. In China, over 900 million people have been infected with the coronavirus as of 11th January. That is 64% of the country's population got the virus, a Peking University study has revealed. Meanwhile, a Chinese epidemiologist predicts COVID-19 will hit rural areas next and peak ahead of the Lunar New Year. He also warned that the peak of China's COVID-19 wave is expected to last 2 to 3 months. President of the Senate, Lawan, has threatened that grants and waivers to revenue-generating agencies may be seized if they are unable to improve on revenue generation from their agencies. Lawan said this while briefing journalists of the Senate Press Corps in Abuja on Thursday while marking his 64th birthday. Speaking further on the low revenue turnout from revenue-generating agencies, Lawan taxed the agencies on the need to improve on funds instead of relying on the federal government. At least 6 people were reportedly killed on Thursday when a tornado and powerful storm ravaged the southern U.S. state of Alabama. The storms continue east to rake the neighboring state of Georgia, where the National Weather Service maintained tornado warnings in the early evening. In sports, Novak Djokovic has received a warm welcome on his first public return to Australian Open for a practice match with home favourite Nick Kyrgios. The 33-year-old Serb was deported ahead of last year's Australian Open because of a visa issue relating to his refusal to say whether he had been vaccinated for COVID-19. But the 9-time Australian Open champion was allowed to return for this year's tournament beginning on Monday because vaccination requirements have been dropped by the Australian government. And that's it on the newsroom. Many thanks for watching. I'm Folashade Ogrinde.